Tekky Toys, formerly known as Tekky Toys, now Techie Design. It's one of the leading companies in Halloween decor and probably the most influential Halloween company for the last decade, especially for animatronics at our favorite Halloween stores, especially Spirit Halloween. Tekky has some of the most nostalgic, innovative props for the longest time. If it wasn't for Tekky, I probably would not be as interested in animatronics, because back then, they were the supreme leaders. I can assure you that if you lived and went through Spirit during that 2009 to 2015 time, Tekky was everywhere. Tekky had so many classic animatronics, the list goes on forever. It made the iconic jumping spiral all the way back in 2011, and 12 years later is still selling better than ever. And throughout every single Spirit store in the world, you can never not hear the audio lurking in the background. I do have quite the collection from them over the years, with my favorite prop literally being made from Tekky, the Howler, all the way back from 2012. I have a bunch of the other classic ones too, but Tekky with all of these props all the way back then encapsulated me to get into the Halloween prop hoarding addiction, and a lot of other people too can attest to this. But what made Tekky props so cool? Well, Tekky has many jump scare animatronics. They have always had the pop-up props and primarily all of the scare animatronics. They were really good at that. They were good, fast, very effective. But having said this, all of these jump scare animatronics, something is bound to break. Maybe. Yes. A lot. On multiple props, even on props that weren't even jump scare. Tekky was quite known to be the faultiest company, especially back in the good old year 2014. Oh boy, so many props were broken out of the box. Jack-o'-lantern, well, he was just not possible to be fully working or really able to be fixed at all in any sort of capacity. Once he died, he's dead. My pop-up werewolf is just that. Now, he never really worked at all. And a bunch of other 2014 props specifically were just not functional, or just it was bad. 2014 was a really dark year for quality control for Tekky, and it seemed to have hurt them a lot since 2014 ended, from a lot of the props just not working. After that year, it kind of seemed they just stopped making the majority of the props for Spirit and just slowed down as a whole to really just a couple each year. There is, of course, still some good Tekky props through those years, but Tekky wasn't taking over a majority of the lineup, just a good couple. But now recently, Tekky is making an ultimate comeback with innovation in the retail industry. Pneumatics, new mechs, new designs, even more props again, especially at Spirit, with some of the best jump scares they have ever had to date. They are even bringing back a bunch of their older beloved ones too. Questionable audio on the new Thrashing Clown though. But other than that, it seems after the sort of darker period for Tekky, in 2021 to now, they are making a huge resurgence with probably their best year yet, in my opinion. Not only at Spirit, but as a whole. They are dominating every single lineup. They literally saved Lowe's. They literally made Lowe's a top tier contender. They even got into the 12-foot game with the 12-foot Scarecrow. He's awesome, good build quality, and he has such a scary appearance. It's like the Harvester, but just amplified to like 12 feet tall, and it's really on par, I feel, with the Home Depot's Inferno Pumpkin. Overall, their build quality has also improved drastically, along with their mechs and just overall appearance. Also, how can you not love the classic Tekky white eyes? So many props with the white eyes, and once you just see that, you just know it's a Tekky prop. Now, of course, they are still not perfect whatsoever. They still use the same inflatable trash bag clothes on so many of their props still. Like, it's not ideal, and it could rip easily, but at least the water bounces it off of it, I guess, so there's some protection there. But that could definitely still be better. The flimsy shoes on stilts and giggles, like, that is also another thing to stop. Just don't use that again, please. Don't do that. Don't do that. Also, there's still gonna be Tekky props that are gonna break. Like, that's inevitable. But just look at Giggles and Mr. Dark, the most recent ones that are just horrible. Even Torture Box Woman, those were just all not well. Mr. Dark would never come back down, or if you just never weighed him, then he could just maul a child. Giggles never really worked after a couple activations. And those flimsy shoes! Stop! Tekky has also always had solid pricing on a lot of their props compared to another company like SVI. SVI definitely has more quality in like the clothes and sometimes the build aspect. As for Tekky, they kind of cheap out a bit more. But that kind of lets them be cheaper, but still. Look at per se Darling Dolly, a 7-foot tall jump scare animatronic. She looks cool, she's big, she's scary, good quality it seems. Then we have the recently recalled Heckles for also $280. You know that the face is not, Tekky got the faces down, but SVI, they still got some more work to do. I know this is slightly a weird comparison between both companies, but both are the same price. What do you think is more worth it? In my opinion, Darling Dolly. Both props, in my opinion, are good, but the point is Tekky has, reasonable pricing compared to, other companies. Just to further emphasize the influence Tekky has had on haunters, I also have my good friend here, Jaden the Jimmy Haunter collector / 1231 something numbers, I don't remember off the top of my head. And he is here with his broken girl, and he's gonna explain why he loves Tekky props as well. Why is Tekky so good?
I guess they're just the most advancing company currently besides SVI. You have stuff like Rosemary from her time in 2011. This was $140. That is a complete steal for the amount of animation that this prop had. And just look at that. The mouth moving, the head turning, the head tilting, and then she even jumps at you. All that for $40, $140, and then going up to $160 was even a steal for the kind of prop this is. And meanwhile, you have stuff like Jack-O-Lantern for $200 that breaks right away.
Oh my gosh, my eyes are just... It's so sweaty.
The fact of the matter is, even if you absolutely despise Tekky props, or absolutely love them...
I love Tekky Toys.
We all can't deny that they have played debatably one of the biggest roles in the Halloween industry and have had a major impact on some of us haunters getting introduced to Halloween, especially me.